Okay. Okay, you too. Bye.
What did you just get? What happened?
What's the move?
Okay.
Hey everybody, I wanted to tell you about today's sponsor. It's us. So from the beginning, we've had really great t-shirts design with our original Knorpp & South design. But I went back recently onto Bonfire, our t-shirt company, and saw that they had a bunch of new colors and a bunch of new t-shirts and really much softer, like flowier, lighter tees. And so I went through and I redid all of the t-shirts. Very excited. Ordered a boatload for my own family. They've got boxy tees now and crop tees. And I updated the colors. It was kind of funny to look at the colors I chose like 9 years ago and how much styles have changed. So I updated the colors a little bit and definitely with fall in mind. So if you want to go check out those t-shirts, if you're doing a little bit of fall shopping and moving into the next season, go check out the link in our description. They're there all the time, but they're updated colors and updated fits, and I'm super excited about them. So if you want to support the channel, that's a great way to do it and to show your love with the new Knorpp & South tee. Come back next time too. I know this is in this video, but I'm working on the next video with Pearl. We are redoing her bathroom as a cat lady bathroom, and we're painting a bunch of cats and we're putting up cat wallpaper, and we are going to town. So come back next time for that. Enjoy the rest of the video and grab yourself a new Knorpp & South tee. All right, everybody, welcome back to Knorpp & South. Don't you love that no matter what, when you come back to Knorpp & South, you can always count on Mike wearing that shirt.
Listen, I have like 3 shirts.
I know.
That
I encourage him to get more,
cycle
but
through.
He likes having 3 shirts or whatever it is. So when he puts on a new shirt, I'm like, ooh.
I'm kind of picky with my shirts.
Yeah, he is. But you look nice in it. I like the shirt on you.
Okay, good.
It matches my lipstick today, so I'm glad that we planned that. Yeah. So today in my breast cancer journey, I am going into the hospital to do some genetic testing because if you watched our last video, the doctor said that all I will need is a lumpectomy. I don't need to get a mastectomy, which was very happy news because I thought I was going to need that. But one thing that could change that and mean that I get actually not just a lumpectomy, but a double mastectomy is if we do the genetic testing and find that I have the gene for the certain breast cancer gene. It's very low chance I'll have it, but not completely no chance. My great grandmother had breast cancer. It's actually what killed her in 1983. I believe she was like in her 80s though, so maybe late 70s. Neither of my grandmothers had it, and my mother has not had it. I don't have any aunts with it, but my great-grandmother's daughter, my grandmother's sister also had breast cancer. So just in case, we're gonna go get that, because if I do have that gene, the chance of it coming back is like 40%, which is pretty high. So you would really just want to get rid of all of your breast cells. Hoping that's not the case. But anyways, I'm gonna go do that. I think the results take about a week, but for you, it'll just take a few minutes. And then the surgeon will feel more confident in just doing a lumpectomy. Okay, so we just met with a genetic specialist, and they're gonna test like all my genes to see if I'm predisposed to any type of cancer. So it's kind of like no turning back. Like, here you go, you're gonna find out.
Oh, the can of worms situation?
Well, it's not necessarily can of worms, because it just means like you definitely need to get your colonoscopies or something because you're predisposed to colon cancer, or you definitely need to be careful with your diet in this way or something. But it is a little bit like, okay, here we go. Like they're opening some chest. I'm gonna like, let's see what you really got in there. And then also, if I do, then it's like I might tell my siblings like, hey, you might want to go get tested for this gene too, because you might want to be making sure you're doing your mammograms and stuff like that, or your daughters, because it looks like it is in our family or whatever. So it's interesting. So
We'll see.
Okay, so it has actually been 1 week and 1 day since I went in and got my genetic testing. I have a friend, Sasha, who I met from having this channel, and she went through breast cancer, and she gave me really good advice. She said, take every test they offer. Like, just get all the testing done that you can. And that was good advice. I think I would have done that, but it was nice to have the reinforcement, because sometimes it's scary to do all of these tests to know more. Because after you've done something and found out you had cancer, it's kind of like your brain, like the childlike part of your brain is like, more information bad. You know, like if I have another test, I'm just going to find out more bad news. So when I went and met with the geneticist, she walked, I don't know if I already said this, but she walked us through kind of the science behind the genetics. Like, they have identified 77 different genes that are associated with a bunch of different cancers. And she said there's probably more out there because it's actually very complex. Having the gene doesn't mean you're going to get the cancer, and not having the gene doesn't mean you won't get cancer, but your numbers go way up if you do have the genes. And she said also there's probably more genes related to cancer than we know, but this is what we know so far. And so she asked like a million questions on family history, what everybody was sick with, because you would think breast cancer not being in your family would mean you're good, but pancreatic cancer and prostate cancer are the same gene. And so if your grandpa's got that and your uncle or something like that, you actually might have the gene. And so as you talk through all of these things, you're like, oh my gosh, okay, I guess we'll find out. Knowledge is power, right? But you're afraid that you're going to learn a lot of things, or it's nerve-wracking. And so one of the things that I have come to discover in this cancer journey, which I think is true of probably anything that's traumatic that's going on in your life, is I have a very hard time concentrating. Like, when people are talking to me about complicated things, I cannot concentrate as well. I'm very scatterbrained. And in the beginning, it was because like halfway through a sentence, I was back on thinking about like, am I going to get a mastectomy? Am I going to have chemotherapy? And what does that mean for my family? Like, what will they eat for dinner? And like, it was just constant. And that has gotten better as I've gotten treatment plans from my doctor, and and I've digested and thought all of those thoughts. I'm not thinking about cancer all the time, but I'm still must be running some program in the back of my brain, because I still have a hard time listening to other people, which is fascinating and frustrating when people are talking to me and I am like, I don't know what they're saying. Like, I can't keep up with the conversation. Strange, right? So it has made me feel compassionate for people who are going through really difficult things. And you think like, I just know that we lost a baby years ago, and I remember the same thing happening then. It was just a lot of confusion. And so people are like, how are you doing? And it's like, I don't even know how to answer that question yet. And even trying to put it together can be a burden. And so I know that what I'm going through is very small in comparison with the burden some people have to shoulder. And I definitely feel for them. And I hope that my experience here will make me better or more empathetic. So we went home. I texted all of my siblings and let them know that I was doing this test and that I would let them know the results, because if any of those markers came back as positive, they might want to go get their themselves tested and see if they're also carrying those genes. So it was kind of an interesting week. They said it could be a week to 2 weeks, and I got the call yesterday right as I was making breakfast, and Mike happened to be there, and kind of realized halfway through. I'm getting calls constantly from the hospital, by the way. I'm getting like, I don't even know, but before you would never answer numbers you don't know. I answer every call now, and almost every time it's a doctor or a nurse or pathology on something, or somebody who wants to prep me for something or ask me questions about something. And so I got a call during breakfast and I answered, and it was the geneticist. Immediately my stomach went into knots, because I'm like, here we go. I'm going to find out a bunch of bad news. Okay. Okay, you too. Bye.
What did you just get? What happened?
What's the news? I had all 77 of my cancer genes tested, and I ain't got none of them.
Whoa!
That's what Mike
I know. I didn't get the camera rolling until Megan's already on the call. That's awesome.
Yes, I have none.
0 cancer genes.
I have 0 cancer genes.
Whoa.
Even though I've had cancer twice now.
Somehow you can still get fluke stuff coming through, apparently.
Well, yes, I have cancer. I just don't have any of the genes that make you predisposed to cancer. So like colon cancer and pancreatic cancer and
That's
breast
awesome.
cancer.
70.
Which
So
means
it's just a fluke.
all they gotta do is remove that thing.
Remove that thing.
that
It's
tumor?
probably from all the
The lump?
it's probably from all the cheese, American cheese slices I had as a teenager, Unwrapped it from the plastic, Remember those?
Yes.
I loved those.
All the microplastics you consumed?
Yeah.
That's possibly it. Yeah, you're probably right. Well, that's sweet. Awesome.
But then I didn't. It was, I don't know if Mike got it. I think he started filming right after I said woohoo, and started laughing, just joyful laughter poured out of me because though I still have had skin cancer and I now have breast cancer, so it's kind of funny that I'm yay, I don't have cancer genes. But first thing it means is that I don't need to get a double mastectomy. And second thing it means is that I don't have just this I was if I find out that I have one of these cancer genes, that's good information, but also it will be a heavy burden to always wonder if I'm doing enough and if it's happening. And I think you probably would settle into that and you would just get testing done. If you had the propensity for colon cancer, you're just going to make sure you're getting your colonoscopies, which we should all be doing anyways. I need to do that. But, and it would probably settle in after a while, but I was truly so grateful. I feel the first month, so I went into the doctor, didn't want to go in, but I had the lump and I'm ugh. I actually canceled my first appointment. I made an appointment and then I canceled it because I'm this is so dumb. It's going to be nothing, but they're going to do all this tests and it's going to be $600 just to find out it's nothing. So I canceled it. But then I'm that's dumb. And so I canceled it late at night. And then the next morning I rescheduled. So I went in and the first appointment was bad news. This is serious. You should go get a mammogram and an ultrasound. So then I go in for the ultrasound and the mammogram. And then a week later and it's this is bad news. You should go get a biopsy, an ultrasound guided biopsy. And then I go to that and this is bad news, you need to get an MRI. And I go to get the MRI and oh, more bad news, you need to get an MRI biopsy. And so it was 6 appointments of bad news. But then the tides turned, at least for now. And I had the biopsy results from the MRI were actually really good. And then the pathology came back from the previous biopsy. It just took a while and actually really good. It's not very aggressive and so getting the genetics results, it's the third good news. So it does lighten burdens. It does make me feel better. But I still feel this, I said, I'm having a hard time talking to people. I'm having a hard time being in social situations. I also have noticed that I have a very, it's I feel normal, but it's very easy to make me feel not normal. What is that called? I don't have a lot of, what's that called? I don't know that I have a lot of resilience right now. Mike mentioned the other night when we were making plans for the fall, well, I don't know if we should make that plan yet because we still need to find out after your surgery, you might still need chemo. And I spiraled. I went right from it was that moment in Nemo, good feelings gone. I went right back to the cancer brain that I had felt the first month where all lights went out. And I was because I think I was just I'm not getting chemo, I'm not getting chemo, I'm not getting chemo. But Mike was well, you might be getting chemo. That's still on the table. So I spiraled really quickly, which was very surprising to me. It was also late. I should have been asleep, but I owning my own life. I'm very goal oriented and I didn't really, it was so difficult in that first month that I couldn't set any goals and I couldn't know. I just couldn't know what the future was. Not that I just couldn't set goals, but I couldn't even make any date plan at all. I don't know if I'll be super sick at Christmas. I don't know, if I will be able to be at that event. And so I don't know if I'll have hair, 6 months from now. Those were all heavy, just heavy, heavy, heavy. But it was interesting to me. I'm oh, I'm finally better. I feel good. But one little thing like that sent me immediately, my brain switched into that again where I it's hard to explain, but It was like lights out confusion. But most of the time I feel great. I don't think about having cancer almost at all. I think it's almost like kind of like a funny, like, oh yeah, I have breast cancer. That's funny. Which is I'm very grateful that I can be in that zone, because if my treatment were more aggressive, I would know constantly that I have breast cancer. So as you saw, did you see, I got my surgery scheduled as well.
Nothing should be different from what I just went over with you, okay?
Okay.
Well, if you have anything, just let us know, okay?
Okay, thank you so much for giving me a call.
Yeah, of course.
Okay.
Have a good day.
You too.
Bye.
Bye. Surgery scheduled.
Scheduled the surgery.
That's almost a month from now, actually, interestingly. But we just figured it would be, since it didn't need to be imminent, it's not like aggressive, and we wanted to get the results back from the genetic testing, that in case it changed anything. And that would have put us at the beginning of September, but she's booked at the beginning. Everybody gets their kids in school and then does their surgeries. So that's fine, right?
Yeah, I think so.
And so now we know that date, and we can kind of start to like mentally prepare ourselves for what's ahead. I just read this is my paper from the doctor. I read that I have my surgery, but then 4 to 6 weeks after surgery, I do my radiation. I thought she'd said 2 weeks, so that might be wrong. I don't know. There's lots of things they tell you, but on the paper it says 4 to 6 weeks. That might be if you've had a mastectomy, though. If it is 4 to 6 weeks, then I am going to be doing radiation and feeling the effects of it till nearly Thanksgiving. I've already kind of planned on having a small Thanksgiving this year. I know that none of these things are important, and I should just be grateful for my life, and I am. But you're just shuffling things around in your brain. And then I will be doing, as I said probably in the last video, the hormone therapy or anti-hormone therapy, so that the breast cells will not be getting estrogen. They won't have the receptors that would usually take in progesterone and estrogen will be blocked by this medicine. So I will still have hormones in my body. It's just this medicine is pretty incredible that it can keep just your breast cells receptors from being able to take the hormones in, and the hormones, both progesterone and estrogen, feed those cancer cells. I'm feeling good. I'm very happy about the genetics results. I'm trying to take it easy. I'm not very good at that. I don't need to take it easy like physically, but I am trying to make sure that I'm taking my vitamins, that I'm trying to keep my stress low. I'm bad at that because I'm always making more plans, and I'm trying to say no to things because I am a yes person. I am an optimist when it comes to plans, and people are like, oh, can you do that? I'm like, absolutely, that would be fun, but no, I can't. And so I told Mike that I would need his help in saying no, and he's been a really good gatekeeper in helping me do that, because I like to invite people over and I like to plan dinners, and so I've been trying to do that. I will end with this. I was laying in bed the other morning, and I opened my phone, because when you don't want to get right out of bed. I don't have any social media on my phone, because I would lay in bed for like 45 minutes, sometimes an hour, looking at that, and it was just not good for me. And but I do have my YouTube like office app or whatever, or creator app, and so I can read your comments. The last few weeks I haven't always read comments because, like I said, like I just don't have a lot of bandwidth or resilience, and so like conversations are more exhausting for me. But that morning I read comments, and for some reason they were all so kind, and it occurred to me like to think of, it's hard sometimes to take comments in, especially the nice ones. You're just like, oh, that's nice, that's nice. But for some reason in my mind that morning I imagined you individually who made comments like saying that to my face, and like just the line of people who are like telling me that they love me, and that they're praying for me, and that just like comment after comment after comment. And I can't tell you how touching that is. Like I do not know how this wild thing happened in my life, where I have so many people supporting me and who are so kind to me. You guys are so kind. And to think of like my name being uttered in a prayer by you is like the craziest privilege and wildest blessing I can imagine. And one of you said that you were watching a video of my breast cancer diagnosis, and your husband was in the room and
said, let's pray for Megan right now. And I've thought of that so many times because it's just, I don't know what to say. I don't know how this happened. And I'm really grateful. I started a YouTube channel with my, almost 10 years ago to share about our family and homeschooling, and then we started traveling, and we just collected all of you along the way for lots of different reasons. Maybe you liked home stuff, and maybe you liked traveling or homeschooling, or I don't know. Some of you say, I don't know how I ended up here. I never imagined that I would be here and that so many of you would be supporting me. It feels very real. It feels like an amazingly crazy privilege. It's very touching. I feel your love and it matters. I wish that I could thank all of you individually, and I wish that I could hug you. I like it when you come up to me in public. I know that you don't want to bother me. Sometimes we'll shake hands and I'll say, how did you hear about my channel? But when you walk away, I'm not just like moving on. I am always very touched by your support, and I don't always really comprehend it. So thank you for that. It's wild and I'm grateful for it, and I love all of you, and I wish that we could all be, wouldn't it be so fun if we could all be in one place together and just talk and talk and talk. So a few of you have reached out actually about like meeting up somewhere, and I feel bad I have not responded to those because I'm not even meeting up with like family right now. I am a little bit, but like I am definitely nesting a little bit more than I ever have in my entire life. So it's a little draining for me to just chat. So anyways, I love you all. I'm grateful for you. I don't deserve it, but none of us do we? And I'm grateful for it, and I love you, and I'm doing great. I'm grateful for all of the good news, for the streak of good news. But I also know that no matter what happens, it's all a gift. It's all a blessing. I will learn from it. I will be supported through it and made better by it. So I'm grateful for Christ and for his love. And until next time, we'll see you then. Bye. I'm like, I can finish that video.